Good evening, FSU. I'm student meteorologist Becca Darish, and this is a short look at what we're going to have for you in tonight's segment of FSU weather. Currently, it is 83 degrees over, well, 82 dropped since I last saw that. There's a live look over Doak Campbell Stadium. Beautiful sunny day. I know I enjoyed it. And looking at our current temps, we have 82 in Tallahassee, low 80s, mid 80s for the rest of the region. Not too muggy. We've had some super dry temps, and I'm really enjoying it. Super dry dew points, something that I've really enjoyed over the last about 24, 48 hours. 63 degrees currently. Well, not currently. Tonight it'll be 63 degrees. Perfect weather for sleeping with your window open. Tonight's headlines, we're looking at clear skies, cooler temps, subtropical storm Teresa, and Hurricane Sam.
Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Elizabeth Temple, and what a beautiful day we've had today. After we saw that cold front come through our area, we have seen some of our temperatures even drop into the 50s. I know that I personally love the cooler weather, and also this cold front, it also brought us much drier conditions and some nice sunny weather. Now, outside of Tallahassee, we have a lot going on in the Atlantic right now. We have Hurricane Sam, which has strengthened into a Category 1 hurricane, and it is expected to be a major hurricane, which is a Cat 3 by this weekend. So, as of right now, we can't really tell exactly its track, so it's important to stay updated on Hurricane Sam. Also, in the past hour or so, we have seen subtropical storm Teresa form, but as of right now, it is no major threat to the mainland USA. Now I'm going to pass it along to Robert to take our local forecast.
Right, thank you, Elizabeth. Yes, we have a little bit of inactive tropics right now, but right here in Tallahassee, we're enjoying some very quiet weather right now. Our high for today was 83 and our low is 55, and really enjoying a little bit of this nice weather coming from the cold front. That's why our low is actually almost 10 degrees, or even a little more, excuse me, below our average, though our high is pretty comparable. Not quite getting to the record, but actually pretty darn close. 5 off from that record in 1990. And we really are enjoying these, at least for people like me from Texas, enjoying these less humid and cooler conditions. 82 degrees, mostly clear, winds from the north-northeast at 7. So again, very nice conditions, not a cloud in the sky. And on our radar, no storms for us to talk about. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit of sea breeze coming in from the coast. But as for storms, we see nothing in the region right now. So enjoy these beautiful conditions, Tallahassee, and these beautiful temperatures as well. Look, it's 79 right now in Thomasville, 82 in Tallahassee, 80 in Valdosta. So again, very nice conditions around the region. And it's a little bit windy, just a little bit gusty in places like Tallahassee and Apalachicola, 6 to 7 miles per hour, so nothing too crazy. That might give you a little bit of a refresher from even our 80-degree temperatures, knock it down to feel a little bit like it's in the 70s. So again, like I'm saying, it's the narrative of the day. Beautiful conditions, our first real taste of fall coming into the Tallahassee metro. And that taste of fall brings with us some drier conditions. So usually, as we've been seeing over these past few weeks, 70s for our dew points, maybe even 80s at times. Well, we're now in the 50s. Look at that, 56 Tallahassee, 54 Sumatra. Going a little bit closer to the coast, we are seeing a little bit more moist, 62 in Apalachicola. But even that, compared to where we were previously, is still incredibly dry and very nice for us here in the metro, seeing those very nice dew points, keeping us a little bit crisp, getting a little bit crisp with that like 80, 70 degree air, making it feel colder than it should. So very nice here in Tallahassee. Future radar again showing not a lot for us right now, but as we move into the weekend, we see a few showers and thunderstorms popping off to the north like Thomasville and Valdosta, those clouds coming in particularly into Saturday evening. But as a whole, not very bad for us, nothing severe or anything too crazy. Maybe just an evening shower for you on your Saturday drive along I-10. Again, going to be very nice conditions tomorrow, seeing 50s for most of us. Bainbridge, Thomasville, Valdosta sitting right there around the 60 mark. Going to be a little bit warmer here in Tallahassee with 63 and 65 in Apalachicola. So again, very nice. Tonight in Tally, it's going to be 63 degrees and mostly clear. Winds from the northeast at 4. Your beach forecast is going to be very nice. 84 in the air, 65 in the water. So I'd call this pretty good conditions to go out to the beach this weekend. But for our week ahead, we're seeing, again, those nice conditions continuing to go throughout the regions. 80s for our highs, seeing maybe a few clouds as we get into the midweek, and 60s, very beautiful for our lows. What do you think of that forecast, Becca?
I absolutely love it. Being from a little bit further north, it is definitely something that I like to see. For the rest of the Big Bend area, they're experiencing some of those cooler temps that we have really been loving. So you can see most of the areas, Atlanta and Blacksburg, Virginia, are sharing our beautiful clear skies. However, there's not too many clouds in Gainesville or Bowling Green either, so they also are having a great day. Looking at the satellite, not much precipitation nor cloud cover over any of the Big Bend. So very sunny again, as Robert was saying, word of the day, beautiful day, sunny day. We're enjoying those cooler temps and clear conditions. Now where there are not as some clear conditions is down further south in Miami. They definitely have some cloud cover and some rain moving off the East Coast. So that would definitely put a damper on a Friday afternoon, but that's okay. Staying in is always a great alternative as well. For the current temps, we are looking at roughly around the 80s for most of the Big Bend, the warmest area being 91 down in Tampa. However, we are a bit cooler with 81 in New Orleans and 85 for us, although we saw at the beginning it's 82, mid-80s for most of the rest of the area. As Robert was saying, it's a bit gusty right now with wind speeds between, it looks, 5 and 10 miles per hour, so nothing too crazy. However, Orlando is getting some pretty strong winds at 15 miles per hour. For our dew points, we have really been enjoying that lower dew point, bringing in some dry, crisp air. I know I was out in the outdoors this morning and I really enjoyed feeling that dry, cool temperature coming in. I think it was about 57 when I woke up, and I can thank the dew point for that, for making it feel extra crispy, just like fall should. However, it is a bit more moist as we get further south and closer to the coast. So 69 Tampa, 76 in Miami. For our water vapor, you can see we do have some stuff moving across, but currently it is fairly dry for us, which again, putting those dew points down. Future radar, not much for Tallahassee. As you can see, maybe on, it looks like Saturday, there could be a few pop-up showers, a little bit of cloud cover, but nothing overly significant. Most of the precip and cloud cover is going to be centered further down south in the the peninsula of Florida. For tonight's lows, we're looking at 63 in Tallahassee. A beautiful night to sleep outside with the I guess you could sleep outside, but a beautiful night to sleep with your windows open and enjoy some of those outside temps. For the rest of the Big Bend area, we're looking at high 50s a little bit further north in Little Rock, 57, Tupelo 54, and warmer further south. For tomorrow's highs, we're looking at 91, rounding us out in Tampa with mid-80s and some high 80s further south. For us, we are going to be looking at mid-80s. Now handing things off to Robert.
Right, thank you, Becca. We are looking at those 80s here in the southeast, but expanding things nationally, we are seeing a little bit of an interesting situation developing. Of course, we have the cold front, as I was talking about, the big one. It came through, and it's now along the east coast here. We have a little bit of a second one we're watching behind it. It's bringing a little bit of rain for the central and northern plains here associated with these low pressures. It might not be exactly as strong by the time it gets here. And we also have this blocking high that's keeping a lot of weather from us right now. So again, we have an interesting setup. I don't think it's going to get too terribly interesting here in Tallahassee, but nationally we do have some rain here, but nothing severe, of course. Also watching that low pressure around just south of Las Vegas into areas of southwest Arizona and southeast California. That's an area that needs a lot of rain right now because they are in a pretty bad drought. So it's pretty good they're getting all that rain for us. And looking at our radar, again, I talked about these two systems. It is a little bit on the drier side up towards the Pacific Northwest. I know that we just saw a cold front bring a lot of rain there for you guys, so maybe a nice little bit of a dry spell. Looking off towards the East Coast, again, we really see this cold front on the radar here, extending all the way from Miami, where is a stationary front going up towards Quebec and New York, and you can really see that there. Also, one thing that you might be able to see Subtropical Storm Therese. It's now out there and it just formed, as Elizabeth said earlier, also a lot of rain up towards Quebec and the Canadian Shield. So very much dry conditions for most of us here in the United States, but we do have those areas that we are highlighting, as we said, here into Phoenix and going where there's actually a flash flood watch and flash flood warning over the Salton Sea area. We have several showers and thunderstorms just sort of training along this area, giving you a lot of rain, which is something they really do need right now, though not too much of it. We don't want that sort of flash flood warning conditions to continue there because, of course, that does pose a risk to life and property, which we never want to see. As we move towards the north and east, we do see this big sort of, well, not very severe and not very expansive complex, but a pretty good complex of rain associated with that cold front and those two low pressures. So a very nice condition for you guys up there. I know it cooled down about 10 to 20 degrees, so it's really feeling like fall right now, and some of this rain is just helping to usher that in. Not too terribly bad conditions for you guys and nothing to really complain about. Looking towards the north and east, pretty calm for you guys out towards New York and West Virginia. But as we do move up into the areas like Maine and New Hampshire, we're seeing a little bit of rain lift off towards the north here associated with this cold front, particularly going into Quebec City and areas like that. Maybe staying a little bit east of Montreal, though, so you guys might not quite see that amount of rain. Also, as I mentioned earlier, Subtropical Storm Therese, it's out there. It probably won't make a U.S. effect, and it's probably going to peter out here in a few days as a tropical storm. So nothing too much to worry about for us here in the mainland. Big picture, we're seeing very nice conditions for most of the nation, though there is a pretty clear divide ahead of and behind these two cold fronts. Seeing 59 in Minneapolis ahead of, or behind, excuse me, of the cold front, 72 in Kansas City, and also you can see the second cold front out here, not seeing as big a divide because most of the nation is already through it, but 70s behind the cold front and ahead of that stationary front down there, where it hasn't made its way as a cold front, 80 in Miami. So again, a lot of rain around that stationary front for us here in Florida, southern Florida, excuse me. Above average conditions for most of us. We're not really feeling that here in Tallahassee because of how nice it is compared to how it was previously, but these are going to be above average conditions for 8 to 14 day because we're going to see those 80s, even closer to 90s, but below average for the West Coast. Dew point's going to be fairly nice for us in the West, going to be very dry and even more dry out towards places like Seattle, but Minneapolis, Atlanta staying about around the 50s, and of course wet here in Florida as it is usually. Tomorrow's highs are going to be fairly nice for us. We can see 80s for most of the nation, 70s as you go up towards Boston and Washington, D.C. As you go towards my home of DFW, it's going to be 91, but we are still going into those fall conditions here, and it's going to be fairly nice for us. Now off to Becca with more of our weather.
One of the biggest topics tonight is what is going on in the tropics. So currently we do have two storms out there, Hurricane Sam and Therese. So I'm going to get a little bit more into that, where they are, what are they doing, what are they going to do, what could they possibly impact us. So we are currently looking at Sam and Teresa, although it is important to note that we have gone through the alphabet all the way to S and T. So that is, we are currently at the peak, almost over with the peak of the season being September, finishing out the peak of the season with S and T. Starting with Hurricane Sam. Hurricane Sam is currently out in the Atlantic, not close to any shores or coastlines yet, but it is raging at a Category 1 after some rapid intensification overnight. Winds at 85 miles per hour, pressure at 986. Moving west at 12 miles per hour. Hurricane Sam is projected to become a major hurricane. So you can see it's projected to become a major hurricane around Monday, sometime early Monday morning. So a major hurricane being 3 to 4, capping out at it looks like a Category 4. However, I'm going to make a correction. It looks like it will be a major hurricane Sunday instead of Monday, as a major hurricane is 3 and above. From there, it should scale back down to a Category 3, and as of right now, we don't really have any forecast out for how far it'll go. It is too early to see. So currently, there's no real worry about implications for the coast. The only thing I could say for the moment is some potential high surf, but for the moment, until we get some more information and those forecasts do come out, nothing to worry about currently. Next week will be when we see some more projections for Hurricane Sam. For Therese, here is the radar. Theresa is out in the northeast, as Robert was saying, and she is a tropical storm with winds of 45 miles per hour. Hurricane Sam is, again, not projected anywhere near Tallahassee. If it does make any sort of landfall or have an impact, it will be coming over on the east coast. Here is Teresa as she moves up the coast. Nothing too strong. Again, here is the water vapor. You can definitely see the two storms with Teresa being in the northeast and Sam being further south out in the Atlantic. For our sea surface temp, again, this is important just to see what we have, what is available, and if they can become any stronger. What we're going to look at further out is there anything else out there? So for our 5-day development, we're looking at a 50% chance of anything further developing currently, in addition to Sam and Teresa. I'm actually going to hand things over to Robert and Elizabeth, and they're going to discuss how to prepare if these things do come and impact Tallahassee.
Right, thank you, Becca. It is always important to stay prepared here. We are on the Gulf Coast and it is still tropical season, and we could even see maybe some more development. Our climatological season here does get active in October as well, so it is always important to stock up on supplies and stay prepared, even at this point in the season.
Yes, absolutely, especially since we have a storm like Sam who is so far out that we still don't know exactly where it is going to hit. So it's important to always stay informed and stay ready for anything that could happen.
Right, that's a very good point. Even if there is a storm out along maybe even the Atlantic Ocean, we never know what can happen here. We can maybe see a situation where a storm actually curves back towards it. I'm not saying maybe to be paranoid about these storms, but it is important to continue to watch them and stock up on supplies just in case one of these storms pulls an Henri like it did with the North Atlantic here just a few days or a few weeks ago, excuse me.
Absolutely, and it's important to not just focus on the way that the storms are categorized, because there are so many other hazards besides wind.
Right, exactly. It's important to stock up on food, water, and other supplies ahead of time, as whenever a storm is really coming and it's pretty forecast, and most people know there is a good chance there will be a run on the stores and you won't be able to receive as much as you want. And it is also important to have an evacuation plan as well, because there might not be too many easy ways to get out of a metro area, and if everyone's evacuating, you might see big traffic jams, and you're going to want to get out early before those things happen.
Exactly, and of course, it's important to stay up to date with the local forecasts. We here at FSU Weather are always going to keep you guys updated, so you can stay tuned with us or with your own local forecast.
Right, exactly. Important to stay tuned with the NHC, FSU Weather. But now we are going to pass things back off to the wall for more of our local conditions. We're going to see here about our more conditions with local and things that we're actually going to see on the wall, and where we're going to talk about your temperatures and dew points and other factors that we could see in the Tallahassee region. And these things are going to be very important to watch here, and we are going to see the graphics come up very soon. And those graphics will show us a lot about the Tallahassee region and what we are going to watch on it. And in fact, it is a very nice day outside on Panama City Beach. It's going to be in Florida here, and it is right now very nice, a big sun over the Florida region. And we are seeing this happening right now, and it is very nice. 6:19 p.m. Panama City Beach. And FSU Weather, again, very nice. Seeing this big sun over Panama City Beach, and it's really not even a cloud in the sky, so very nice and enjoyable conditions for us. And we're really seeing this with not even any showers or thunderstorms, maybe just one little pop-up here down in the coast, but nothing for us here in the actual coast here. So again, very enjoyable conditions for us and beautiful across the I-10 corridor as you go all the way from Pensacola to Tallahassee. As we move down towards Daytona Beach and Tampa, we are seeing maybe a few clouds along the I-4 corridor extending up towards Jacksonville, but nothing in the way of severe thunderstorm development or anything that you should be very concerned about. Just a nice day at the beach if you are out there right now. Here in Florida, it is the Sunshine State and really delivering on that promise right now. Seeing a lot of rain here, though, for you in South Florida, particularly along the Everglades and Fort Myers. Some of that might make its way towards you in Miami as well. And some of these storms may be a little bit intense at times, not quite severe, but you might see some very heavy rainfall rates here in South Florida. Current temperatures, again, we're seeing a little bit of a divide. 80s, fairly nice conditions up here, getting towards 90s, though, and more muggy conditions down in South Florida. So more of what we were seeing here last week. Now that's gone for us, but they're still experiencing it because the cold front couldn't make its way down there. So that's why it's nice to live up here in Tallahassee. but we're seeing these muggy meters, again, very smiling faces for us here. A little bit of those disgusted faces, though, because it is pretty muggy for you down there in Key West and Miami right now. Future radar showing that rain dissipating over the next day or so, but we are seeing it kind of stick around a little bit more as it comes back into Sunday, though it will sort of make its way all the way out of the area, just going to sort of pester you guys in Key West there into late Sunday. Tonight in Florida, conditions are going to be very nice here. 63 in Pensacola, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville. A little bit warmer here for our low in Orlando, Tampa, and as you get to Miami, almost approaching 80 in Key West. So there's a little bit on the warm side. Very nice conditions here in Florida. And we are seeing nice conditions across the state here, but particularly in Jacksonville. We want to single that city out because you guys are really cool in Jacksonville. 85 and 86 for our highs there, and not much in the way of rain. 4, 5, and 6% here. So again, Florida conditions are going to be very nice for us here in North Florida, so maybe a little bit muggier down in South Florida.
As Robert was saying, Florida conditions great. However, when we're talking about sports, our women's soccer team, they're doing great. They are not playing home in Florida today. They are playing against Notre Dame, and they will be in Indiana, South Bend, Indiana. So they are playing tonight, 7 p.m. It's supposed to be 80 degrees, so definitely a lot warmer, about the same temperature. Potentially it could be muggier there. The Midwest does get pretty muggy, so we're looking at 80 degrees, cooling down to 77 by 8 p.m., 75 by 9 p.m. With our dew points, however, I just mentioned that it can get muggy. It does not seem to be muggy there right now. So they lucked out. 45 degrees in South Bend where they will be playing tonight. So outdoors, the women's soccer team, they will be playing in some nice dry conditions. And it said it was sunny 80 degrees for our women's soccer team to hopefully take the win over Notre Dame. For the rest of the area, this is the area I'm from, it's definitely warm and a little bit drier. So I do miss being back home, and it looks like we're kind of matching temperatures right now. For our future radar, it doesn't look like there will be any rain until later this evening, tomorrow morning. So for the game, they should be completely clear to get a good game, a good win, hopefully in before any rain comes through. For Saturday, the biggest event of the week, I know this is what everyone's waiting to hear. It looks like we're going to have a beautiful day, much like today. The only difference I can seem to think of between today and yesterday is potentially more cloud cover. So we're looking at partly cloudy, some clouds in the sky tomorrow, not making it as clear and beautiful as today. However, those temps are going to be right up there, allowing us to have a very beautiful day again tomorrow, watching us cheer on our football team to hopefully a victory, what we could really use on such a beautiful day. So we're looking at 84 degrees for kickoff at 3:30 tomorrow, partly cloudy. It'll cool down just a little bit by 5 p.m., 83 degrees and 79 by 7. That will definitely be a nice warm game, so make sure you're hydrating, make sure you have proper sun protection if you need a hat or sunscreen like myself if you're planning to be out there all day. So I'm definitely planning on going to the game tomorrow and making sure I have a knowledge of my forecast while I go to make sure I am properly prepared. For our last segment, I will be passing things off to Elizabeth, letting us know more.
Yes, so here in Tallahassee right now, I look over Doak right now. It is absolutely beautiful outside, not a cloud to see in the sky, and it is looking about the same on our radar as well. Tonight in College Town, we'll be having our Friday night block party at 6 p.m. Again, it is going to be beautiful outside. It's going to be 63 degrees, so it might be good to bring a jacket or so, and under mostly clear skies, and our winds are going to be pretty light too at 4 miles per hour. And our dog walk forecast for tomorrow, again, it'll be about the same at 7 a.m., 64 degrees, just a little bit of clouds, but again, no rain to worry about tomorrow. And 9 a.m. is going to be 68 and 76 at 11 a.m. And for our future radar, again, we are going to see some clouds and maybe some pop-up showers, but there is nothing is going to impact our game against Louisville tomorrow. Now we're going to take a look at our final forecast.
One last time, we're going to go over the local for you guys, just in case you missed anything at the beginning of this segment. So for our temperature almanac, we are sitting at a high of 83, a low of 55. You'll notice we're not too far off from the record low of 50, thanks to that cold front. I'm very thankful for that. However, I'm also very thankful that we're very far off from our record high of a 96. A live look at Doak, a beautiful, I always say it's a beautiful sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium. I love to see the sun, not a cloud in the sky. Currently 82 degrees and clear. Winds 7 miles per hour. Current radar, not much on the radar, just some backscatter since we're very close to the radar. Very clear, you can see the radar backs up my claims that there's not a cloud in the sky. Hour by hour today, we started off pretty cool at 58, slowly working our way up. I appreciated the slow rise in our temperatures today as I walked to class. However, when I left around noon, it was pretty warm out there, sitting at 83 right now. That is a pretty high diurnal range for this time of year. Current local temperatures, we're looking at 82, and everything is right around there with us, 82. We're looking at 79 Thomasville, 80 in Valdosta, 83 in Perry, and our last one at 79 in Apalachicola. For our wind speeds, again, a little bit breezy, between about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It looks like most of it coming from the north. The muggy meter, this is where we like to see those smiles, and luckily for us today, we are seeing a smile, not overly muggy at all. However, for the rest of Florida, it gets a little bit muggier as you go down. Luckily, we are in the wonderful city of Tallahassee, and it is not too muggy for us today. Tonight's lows, we're looking at 63. The lowest is going to be 58 in Bainbridge. However, most of us are around within 5 degrees of each other, so it'll be a nice, clear, beautiful night to relax and potentially take some time to have fun in some of those outside activities, such as a bonfire or going for a walk. For the beach forecast, we're looking at 84 degrees. The water is a little bit chilly at 65. However, with that sun, no clouds, it'll be a great time to go to the beach. Tonight in Tally, we're looking at 63 degrees. Again, a beautiful night if you have any of those activities going on. I know the block party will be having a great time right about now starting up. The week ahead, we are looking at sunshine. That is what I love to see. So sunshine with high 80s. Those temps are going to be warming back up with those lows also warming back up right with finishing us out tonight. Robert is going to conclude.
Right, Becca, thank you for showing us that great local close here. We are seeing those very nice conditions. Nice and dry here in Tallahassee for once. You know, in Florida, we do have a reputation of being a little bit on the muggier side, but here in Tallahassee, we have this almost crisp nature to the air, and that came because of this cold front. It sent our temps plummeting into the 50s, as I'm sure you felt it this morning. Very pleasant conditions here, a light breeze, very crisp. Contrasted with those juicy conditions down in South Florida where you have those dew points still in the 70s. So it's very, very different here in Florida, but we are very much enjoying these conditions in North Florida. But as Elizabeth really went into earlier, we are seeing the tropics heating up again. We had a little bit of a lull there, but you're going to continue to see over the next few days. Make sure to follow us on Twitter so you stay updated for the tropics and other conditions. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather. Watch us live on YouTube at YouTube/FSU Weather. We stream every night 6 p.m. And follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. Again, thank you for joining us today. We had a pretty packed show for us, but right now we are going to close things out. We had a great show. Make sure to join us every night here at 6 p.m. We are going to make sure you are always updated with conditions, tropics or otherwise, because the weather is always changing here in Tallahassee. I'm Robert Zott, and you have watched FSU Weather Friday edition.